It's a cold game. I met some East Coast.
Today, from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, this is the NFL on EA Sports. Taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Hurts going to take this himself. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Second down, back to Sanders. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this 1st quarter.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 2nd down, McKinnon. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it. Unable to corral him. He fights through. Give him credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Juju Smith-Schuster, 29 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. Now after the touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. The last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out. Yeah, absolutely, no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And taken down just shy of the 40. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts, and this is going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
A beautiful fake, and he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Here's Aaron Sipas now. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. This is taken at the 18. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
That's it, baby. We go.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does. And I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 2nd and inches, Hurts. Flushed out right. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right?
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Eagles get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to. But a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, would have been 4th down.
Exactly.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll begin by running the option. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders to about the 33-yard line.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Hurts gets this to Sanders.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hurts.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Here comes Sanders on the toss right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Goddard.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
And if If you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Going for it with Sanders. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal. Back to throw. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Back to throw. Eluding the press. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles have taken a fourth quarter lead. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 17-14. A minute 37 remaining. Mahomes to throw it. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Mahomes. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. Mahomes will throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. Mahomes. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead. And also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will make this a 4-point game. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So now it's the Eagles' turn, trailing by 4, 20 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. One final shot. They'll look to throw.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with third down coming up.
They'll look to throw.
That's to Goddard. What a grab.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Kansas City.